Monk, smiling gently. Many people ask me, Master, how can I achieve my dreams? How do I become successful? They believe the answer is some great secret hidden far away. But the truth is much simpler. He picks up a single grain of rice, holding it between his fingers. A great harvest begins with one seed. A mighty river begins with a single drop. And a life of greatness begins with a small step. The first lesson. Your mind is the only barrier. The monk walks slowly along a stone path, hands folded, deep in thought. Most people fail not because they lack skill, not because they lack opportunity, but because they have already decided in their minds that they cannot succeed. A man once came to me and said, Master, I wish to climb the highest mountain, but I am afraid I am not strong enough. I smiled and asked, Have you taken the first step? He lowered his head and said, No, because I do not believe I can make it to the top. The monk pauses, looking into the distance. Do you see? He was defeated before he even began, not by the mountain, but by his own mind. And this is true for many of us. We dream, we wish, we hope, but in our hearts we do not believe we can achieve it, and so we never try. The first step to achieving anything is to believe it is possible.
The second lesson, small actions create great change. The monk kneels beside a pond, watching ripples spread from a single drop of water. There is a story we tell in the monastery. A student once asked, Master, how do I become wise? I handed him a cup and said, Fill this with water, one drop at a time. He sighed and said, But Master, that will take forever. I smiled and replied, Yes, but one day it will be full. This is how all great things are achieved, not in a single moment, but in many small, steady steps. If you want to write a book, write one page. If you want to build strength, do one push-up. If you want to master your craft, practice for just 5 minutes. These small actions, repeated every day, will create something greater than motivation alone ever could. He gently drops another pebble into the pond, watching the ripples. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Begin now. Begin small, but begin.
The third lesson. Discipline is freedom. The monk stands before a large, ancient tree, running his fingers along its rough bark. People often say, I want success, but I struggle with discipline. But they do not understand what discipline truly is. Discipline is not punishment. It is not restriction. It is freedom. A river without banks spills everywhere and loses its power. But when it is guided, it can carve through mountains. This is what discipline does. It focuses your energy, your efforts, your time. It frees you from distractions. It frees you from regret. Do not ask, how do I force myself to be disciplined? Instead, ask, how can I make my discipline effortless? Create habits. Remove distractions. Surround yourself with reminders of your goal. Make it easy to stay on the path. And soon you will not need discipline. You will simply be the person who does what needs to be done. Closing message and call to action. The monk stands still, looking at the sky, voice calm yet powerful. You can achieve anything, but it begins in your mind. It grows through small, steady steps, and it is sustained by discipline, not as a burden, but as a guide. So ask yourself now, what is one small step you can take today? He pauses, letting the question sink in. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you wish to walk this path with me, I invite you to subscribe. Together, let us learn to live with purpose, with peace, and with presence. He bows gently. The screen fades to black with the words, Begin today.